Hey, Don's fans, we're back with Katherine Badham from New Zealand and Gillian Cridge from Indiana. Just talk a little bit about that national championship mindset because Coach Care is like, look, she's determined. We're going to win a national championship here. So just kind of talk about that fire and what you think it's going to take to get there.
When I saw who we were getting as recruits, I think honestly, we have the talent, and I think we have just such a really good group of girls to be able to train and focus. And Gina kind of selected me as like a team leader for next year, which I'm super honored to be. I think that's gonna be really good for me. There are three of us on the team who have been to junior worlds, and we've competed at that high level. A lot of our team coming in are freshmen. The majority of our team will be freshmen. So I think that if we as a team and as a team culture can just go to nationals, show up, do our thing, and do as best as we can. And if we do end up winning, I think that will be like a massive statement for like our program to have such like a young team performing at such a high level, which I think like we are totally more than capable of. So
Yeah, and Jillian, your thoughts on that as well. I mean, a lot of freshmen are going to have to step up and act like veterans, to make this happen.
Yeah, luckily all of us have years and years of draft legal triathlon under our belt. So we're all used to like competing at a high level. And we all have so many different strengths to bring to the table and like help each other out. And I think it's going to be really cool seeing all of us come together and work as a team, because I know a lot of us train like individually or with like just a small team. And so being able to like bring all of us and all of our experiences and strengths, like it'll be pretty cool to see how we can all like help each other out and just show up at nationals and do our best, because we are freshmen, so we don't really have a ton of expectation on us, and just kind of surprise everyone.
Before COVID-19 hit, you two were living your best lives. I mean, you were going at it, you were competing, but now for you, Gillian, the Junior World Champs in August has been canceled. Just talk a little bit about that and how COVID has affected your training, your competing.
So I was actually in Florida for 2 races when we could say this whole COVID like thing went down, when all the quarantine started, lockdown, school being canceled. And so it's so surreal and still feels unreal. But I was in Florida and I raced in Claremont, and then the next week I was supposed to race in Sarasota, which was a qualifier for the PATCO championships in San Domingo. But that got canceled, which led to another race in Richmond being canceled. And then the PATCO championships got canceled, and the World's getting canceled, all due to COVID. And I mean, as each race got canceled, it got a little bit harder to like not necessarily stay motivated, but just like not question if the whole season will get canceled. And if it does, it's okay. But we're all in the same boat. It's just with pools being closed, there was that extra little like pressure of how much fitness will I lose. And then eventually I realized I just need to do what I can to like stay fit and mentally and physically healthy and happy. And so I have been running a lot and biking a lot. And I just started open water swimming and swimming attached to a tether on the side of a pool in my wetsuit, but it's been good. I'm able to run with my little sister, which has been really nice. And I'm still like needing to balance sports and training, because I do have online school, because in Indiana all K through 12 schools were canceled through the end of the year. So the rest of my senior year is online, and I am in AP classes, so like still having to prepare for those tests, which will be online later this month, has really helped me not get too training happy, I guess, and not too distracted from like what my regular life would be like. I'm still making sure I go to school at regular times and do my schoolwork then, and then just training around it. So it's actually been pretty nice to take a step back and like slow down life a little bit. But it is a big adjustment, and there are it's really easy to like question everything pretty much and how everything will work out. But overall, like the support from my family and like my friends and getting to know the team has been great.
Oh, that's awesome. And then Kat, I mean, for you, you are just either a weekend away or steps away from getting to that first meet of track and it's canceled. And, and now for the both of you, you might, we don't even know if you're going to have a triathlon season, but Kat, just talk about what that did for you losing that track season and kind of you're in the same boat with Gillian. What are you trying to do to stay in shape?
It was a pretty big blow for me, mainly because I was injured in my freshman track season, so I redshirted. I did one race my sophomore track season because I was hurt. So this was kind of like the year where I was pretty confident that I trust the coaches and I trust where I was at, that I was making just such big like fitness gains under like patch training, that this was going to kind of be like finally like yay my year, like finally the year I came to America for. And then I had big goals and yeah, obviously, I mean, I got indoors, which was really cool, and I'm very grateful that I got to have an indoor season. But yeah, it was definitely hard. I think that yeah, it was hard. So swimming is, it's my weak point as well in triathlon. So it is hard not having, pools and things so where I can like focus on. But I'm definitely just taking the time to, train and get, build a really good base. We're not going crazy with my training and my running, especially, we're doing workouts and stuff, but they're not like over the top. And I don't have my road bike here, but I've got, a mountain bike that fits me. So it's kind of nice just like dawdling around and enjoying the fresh air because, other than running and biking, we're just inside. So it is nice. And I definitely see training even more so now than usual as like a big kind of release, like emotional release and a time to just kind of like forget about the world for a little bit and just like go do my thing, go do what makes me happy. And yeah, but it hasn't been all bad, I guess. Things could be worse. So yeah.
Gillian, you had mentioned not only being, physically in shape, staying physically in shape, but also mentally. So, from both of you, what is it going to take mentally just to prepare you girls for this upcoming season if we have it?
For me, a big thing is like establishing a routine for myself and sticking to what I know, and also doing the workouts and all my workouts like with that intention and motivation back in the back of my head that I am training for not only myself but my future team. And also like not really getting down on myself if I don't exactly hit my goals right now. So I'm more training to stay happy, I guess, and like enjoy actually like the sport of triathlon rather than just like training for a race, because I feel like a lot of the time like we get so caught up in the pressure and like the excitement of like upcoming races that we kind of like lose sight of why we actually started the sport and why we love it so much. And so I feel like right now taking a step back and looking at our training and triathlon as a sport and like getting stronger for yes the future, but also like thinking of our future teammates and staying happy with like what we're doing now and like the little baby steps that we're making, like improvements that we're making is big.
Yeah, Kat.
Well, I think like a big part of being like an athlete and a good athlete is, being flexible and just, we don't really know what next semester or next season's going to look like. But that's not really like an excuse to just kind of slack off and focusing on, like Gillian said, like the little things, like the day-to-day things, like really taking the time to like think about how your body is feeling and how your mind is feeling and not getting too bogged down. And, I think it's really important to like, we have this goal of winning nationals as a team. We need to keep fit. We need to keep healthy. We need to keep injury free. We need to sleep well. We need to eat well. Just kind of having that mindset where it's like, regardless of what happens, like whether we get to race this fall, whether we don't, like if we don't, it doesn't mean we can't use the time to get better for when it is time for us to like do our thing. So
Yeah. Well, I am so excited to have both of you, and I just can't wait to see what we do next fall and the legacy that you girls leave behind. So thanks for being here.